Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This time we're on Season 1, Episode 21, titled Ragtag. So, the penultimate episode of the season. We're almost there. It's been a wild ride so far, and I can only assume it's going to continue that way up until the season finale. But yeah, so last time we had nothing personal, I believe. And we had a bit of Skye kind of stalling Ward. I think looking back, I definitely see that now that like Skye knowing the truth behind the encryption on the hard drive, that it was actually altitude based and not actual location based. It was I think you had to get like 200,000, I think like 500,000 feet in the air or something along those lines. She said to Mike, and then she'll be able to put the password in and start hacking the drive and all that stuff. Like knowing that, like her going to the diner. And actually, tipping off the police about Ward, like him being but both of them pretty much being wanted fugitives, but him especially, him being the actual Hydra agent out of the two of them. I think it was a great way of her actually using her instinct to actually stall for time and actually at least try and see if she could actually get him into some kind of custody and then make the run for it before being captured and then revealing the truth. Like, okay, yeah, it's fine. I'll give you the password. We had, but I think we had one thing that surprised me about that scene was actually I think I forgot to point out in the last one, but the one thing I actually I kind of glossed over when I was watching it, but then looking back into it through editing, because I think the best way for me to actually watch an episode twice is when I actually look back through it when I'm editing the reaction down. So looking back through that scene, like Mike was given the orders by Garrett, presumably by Garrett. He said move to Plan B, and then the Plan B was to stop Ward's heart and bait, kind of taunt Skye with that kind of possible murder. Like sure, yeah, Ward's a murderer and he's a serial killer and a liar and all that stuff. But are you a murderer? Are you willing to let him die to preserve the secrets of the hard drive? She was like, no, just bring him back. Screw it. But Garrett was the one that made that call. Ward did not see it coming. You could tell, by the obvious anger after that scene towards Mike, Ward did not see that move coming, and Garrett was the one who pulled the trigger on that. So it's like, I feel like, obviously, Ward knows that Mike is acting on orders because he has the eye plant thing, and presumably a bunch of other stuff that just stops him from going against their control. So then, he had to get his orders from somewhere. Garrett is the one with the most control, so would Ward have thought about that? Okay, well, Mike tried to kill me, and Garrett was the one who told him to do it. Ward always has so much faith and stuff in Garrett, but now he's now he's been on the receiving end of one of Garrett's kill orders. So yeah, and he would have let it happen. They were relying on Skye to say no to it and to actually give in to that kind of taunting. But had she not, would Garrett have just let Ward die? Would that have happened? Would he have actually given him up? It would be a horrible way for Ward himself to go. But and I hated him in the last episode. People saw that I was not putting up with any of Ward's BS or any of his excuses and stuff. Oh, I'm not a Nazi. I'm here to protect you. I will always keep you safe. No. You are Hydra, by definition, that means you are a dick. So, yeah, and I did question it at first, but it turns out that towards history of kind of childhood abuse and stuff, that stuff is actually all true. He didn't make any of it up. But, abuse does not give you a reason or an excuse to abuse other people. It's not kind of like a loophole or a key or a reason to pass it on to someone else. If anything, it means that you should know better than to put other people through that pain. So yeah, so I was not having any of that, none of it. But that was something I glossed over that I kind of wanted to kind of bring back up for this video. But we had that, and then by the end of the episode, Phil did actually manage to break onto the bus, and there was an awesome action sequence with them falling through the sky inside Lola. But Phil managed to actually get Skye back onto the team, so they rescued Skye. Can't say the same for the hard drive. I think that's still in Garrett's hands, but that stuff, yeah, we'll see. We'll see where that stuff leads. But yeah, the team reunited, and Coulson did so with Maria's help. Maria showed up right at the beginning of the episode, actually, and she then hooked up with she caught up with May and May was on her own mission to find out the truth behind Tahiti, and I think that was a really nice way of actually showing him of showing that she's still loyal to Coulson. At first, it was because she was following orders from Fury, who unarguably is in a much higher rank than Coulson, and if he gives her orders specifically, then she has to follow them. But now with this one, Fury's no longer around to give her orders, and so she wants to show him that he can still trust her. So she went digging into his literal grave and found a flash drive containing the final report and the overall details for Project Tahiti. So that included details on who was actually behind Project Tahiti, and that truth was spilled in a kind of mid-credit-y scene at the end of the last episode, and we actually found out Coulson pressed play on the video and actually found out who was behind Project Tahiti. It was Coulson. Coulson was what is arguably the biggest plot twist of this season I've experienced so far. Coulson himself was behind the very project that resurrected him and rewrote his memories. Like all the secrets that have been kept from him this entire season have been kept away by himself. Like, Coulson was the one who told Fury about how Tahiti works and how like the cellular regeneration and the resurrection stuff works, but he also told Fury that the test subjects so far had all shown signs of post-traumatic stress and like kind of like psychosis and all sorts of mental deterioration post-recovery, most likely due to their awareness of what had happened. They just kind of broke down and went mad, and they just couldn't handle it. So then the only treatment that showed any kind of inconsistency, even with inconsistencies to that post-recovery trauma, was actually to completely rewrite their memories and to give them other memories and to just avoid them actually finding out the truth at all. So not only did he use Tahiti to bring him back, but he followed Coulson's advice and kept Coulson. I think that is the sweetest irony about that. The fact that, Coulson knew exactly what to do to keep himself away, and Fury followed up on that advice. Like, the writing on this show is almost beyond anything else that I've ever seen. So, I'm curious. I'm curious as to what this means for Coulson now. Coulson, I think he knows the truth now. He knows the truth. This entire season, he went from feeling off to to wanting to discover more about what actually brought him back and how he was brought back and what happened. And then he moved on to discovering all these different levels of shocking truths. But this one, without a doubt, shocked him the most. Just a simple, at the end of it. So, yeah, without a doubt, it's the biggest secret he's ever had kept from him, and it was a secret kept by himself. So, yeah, we had all of that stuff, but I think after that, the team were just kind of, the bus was out of their control. Ward and Mike had the bus, so they were just kind of chilling out at a nearby hotel with a swimming pool. So, yeah, I think most secrets are out of the way. The team as a whole now knows that Ward is with Hydra, Ward is with Garrett, and he lied that Garrett isn't dead. Hand is dead, but Garrett is still alive and he's still working with him. And now Coulson now knows besides from the alien in the tank that we found in the GH tanker that was being the blood, the actual alien blood that was being used for the GH serums. Besides from that, most of the Tahiti stuff has been unveiled. So I think that one, to my knowledge, the identification of the alien and the species and whatnot, like that, those details are still yet to be clarified. But I think I'm assuming all in good time. But I think for now, that is the bigger plot twist that they could have gone with. Like, oh crap, Coulson was behind the Tahiti thing, and he knew exactly how to hide the secrets from future him. Like, that Coulson never would have known he would die at the hands of an Asgardian and then be brought back to life. So it was safe to assume that he was doing all of this research and making this report in the best interest of science and medicine and future test subjects and all that stuff. So, yeah, but even in that final report, he did say that that Project Tahiti was too dangerous to go on. It was too dangerous to go on, and he was recommending the complete termination of the whole thing. And then he had to go and die, and then Fury decided to use Tahiti one last time, perhaps, to resurrect Coulson. So, yeah, but that is pretty much all I have from the last one. So, episode 21, Ragtag. Let's go.
Grant Ward.
Oh, that's Ward. Oh, he's in a juvenile center.
My name's John Garrett.
Oh,
Master at military school, an old buddy of mine.
De-aged Bill Paxton. Okay.
Not only are your folks pressing charges against you for arson and attempted murder,
Oh,
but your older
damn.
brother's petitioning the court to have you tried as an adult.
Oh,
Now,
shit.
you can spend the next few years.
Yeah,
locked
you'd
up in
get
a
good
cage
time for
with
that then.
Mommy and daddy and me and all. I work for a secret organization that's always looking to recruit young men like you.
Yeah,
Why should I trust you?
We're no longer SHIELD agents. We're
vigilantes.
I was gonna say doing this because it's the right thing to do, but
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's why vigilantes do
So
it.
if you're with me,
Just working
I'm gonna
outside the
finish
law.
what I started. I'll be damned if I'm gonna let Garrett and Ward get away with murder.
Mm-hmm.
And I want my plane back.
Yeah.
Off that drug lord.
No one takes the bus and gets away with it.
Single shot.
Stream Mike Peterson some video of his son this afternoon. Don't mention it.
So he does get rewards for all
How
of the
about
work he's
that
in for
guy?
Hydra.
I've turned him into a new man.
Is that what he is?
Are you still sore about what he did to you?
No, I'm sore at you for making him do it.
Yeah,
We're on the
I
verge of
figured.
completing something. You never disappoint, do you, Flowers? Wish everyone on my team had the same success rate.
Okay. Well, Raina genuinely does enjoy her work. That's the difference.
Okay.
So.
What if Garrett put an exploding eye into him to control him? Maybe that's why he betrayed us.
I'm pretty sure there's a
Yeah.
much simpler reason. He's evil.
He's known him
Well, I
far
don't
too
believe that
long.
people are born evil.
No.
Something must have happened.
Yeah, he was abused, and that
Sorry it took
took
so long.
control of him.
My mom's real sentimental about Granddad's Howling Commando stuff.
Oh, he got his own
Generous
commander
enough to
stuff.
Offer up some of his granddad's spy tech to help us out. We should
Oh, that's
systematically take a full
cool.
inventory of oh my God, is that a handheld hypno beam?
A
One of
hypno
the
beam.
Original betas.
This is amazing.
Oh,
Almost as
Coulson's a
cool as
total fanboy.
transistor blast gun.
Yeah, total fanboys. Total fanboys.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Thanks, Jim. This is a huge help. Gives us a fighting
Yeah,
chance
that's
against these
awesome.
bad guys.
What? Oh, he burned a hole in the curtain. Oh,
Watch
damn.
out, Hydra. Here we come.
Yep. One curtain at a time. One curtain at a time. So yeah, there's a woodland area, a bag of clothes, and a dog. Tell me he doesn't kill the dog. Nothing would make me hate him more unless he killed the dog.
Cybertech?
Hush, May looks barely a day over 30. You're gorgeous.
You are. She is. She is.
We've seen one of these bullets before.
You have?
What did they use it with?
Oh, the sleepy sleep gun, I think.
The night
Your team took
gun.
this rudimentary concept and
Triple the stopping power and a much cooler.
what else do you have?
Yeah, it's all in the name. It's all in the name.
Building permit Cybertech's filed.
Oh shit. Come on, mate, come on, mate, come on, mate. Yep, yep, yep. Backflip for the win. Boom. There we go. Yeah, huh? No emergency calls for you.
All the files are hard copies.
That's what Granny was typing during our meeting.
Yep.
Oh, we're here. Might as well
Paper's
look around.
harder to hack. Or practically impossible to hack.
How far back does this thing go?
So he's not the first? Mike might not be the first one then. Version 1. Who was version 1? John Garrett! Oh yeah, oh yeah, because he does have it. He does have the plating, the armor plating.
Get ready for a large file transfer.
How large?
Whoa! That large. That large, yeah. Pick it up, pack it up. Get the wheels up and running. Oh, damn. Forget USB transfer, just throw the computer out the fucking window. Good doggy. Bad human, good doggy.
Should have let Mike finish him when I had the chance.
You're not a killer, Skye, and you would have been the one to make that call.
Stupid and weak.
No.
You had compassion.
Yeah,
That's harder.
you care about people. You are a
fine.
good, normal human
Pizza
being.
delivery for Pablo Jimenez?
For who?
That's me.
Is that Spanish for Phil Coulson?
I'm furious. But I'm sure as hell not gonna waste it on a tantrum.
Save that energy for
I'm gonna
Ward.
mine it. Save it. And when we find Ward, I'm gonna use every bit of it.
That's what I like to hear. That is the May I know.
You know something about Skye's history?
I can't confirm it's her, but I did hear a story about a baby girl.
Whoa.
Years ago, a village in the Hunan province in China was destroyed. Every man, woman, and child torn apart by monsters trying to find that baby.
Yeah, she was the 084.
The baby's parents were the monsters.
The monsters were the parents were the monsters? Wait, the parents were trying to kill her? And they killed the entire village? What? No, the dog's still alive. The dog's still alive.
First few weeks
Okay.
are rough.
Okay.
All right.
You know what? It's good to see them get along. It's good to see Fitz and Trip get along.
Fitz,
Oh shit. No.
Long time no see.
No. Don't have Fitz Simmons, please. No.
Then I stuffed my intestines back inside, duct taped myself shut, and humped my way out.
Oh shit.
What's he got there?
Oh no. God damn it.
One of those prank joy buzzers.
Yeah, you know me, always kidding around.
Oh.
What was that?
Oh.
An EMP.
Looks like the joke's on you.
Oh, please don't hurt Fitz. Please don't hurt Fitz. Please don't hurt Fitz.
Ward, let him die. He deserves to die. Get them out of here.
Oh, Fitz, you're clinging to that.
Everybody out.
You're clinging to that false hope like a moth to a flame, dude. You need to let it go.
Now take care of Buddy and we'll get out of here. That's not a weakness, is it?
We'll take care of Buddy. No.
No, sir.
Good.
He has to kill the
Get the
dog.
truck.
No.
Battery must have
Don't
fried.
kill
We have
the
to open up,
dog.
see if there's mechanical.
Put down Fitz and Simmons.
What?
No.
No. There's plenty of time. I won't leave you.
And I'm telling you to cross them off from me.
No. No. Ward. No, don't. Do not do
Not
this.
a weakness, is it?
No.
I'll take care of him.
No. Oh crap! Wrong place. Ooh, sugar. Okay. Oh, no.
I know that you're a good person, Ward.
Okay.
Hello, cargo pod. He's gonna drop them out of the bus. That's a pod.
I do. It's a weakness.
Oh no. He's dropping them out of the bus. Oh god. Oh, and they're in the ocean. Oh, that is not gonna help. That is not gonna work. They're gonna drown.
If the job was easy.
Wait, what? Whoa, what? Oh, he's gonna blow up. Oh, he's gonna blow. Or not. Oh, the Berserker Star.
it's a centipede soldier.
The Berserker Star. Oh, crap. There's a group of them.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will return in a moment.
Are you kidding me, Phil? Are you kidding me right now?
A super soldier could have done it for a fraction of the price.
Is that why you're here?
So he's selling the super soldier to the world's militaries.
So, would you and your friends like a tour?
Oh, so he's really gonna sell this crap. Okay, god damn it. God friggity damn it. Okay. He killed the dog! He killed the fucking dog! Oh, buddy. Buddy. Oh god, I think I had gone so long without seeing any harm befalling the dog that I had fallen under the trap of believing that the dog would never ever be harmed at any cost. So yeah, but this episode I think was a good little mix of past and present. You know, I think when it opened up, it showed the young man. I thought, I don't know. I think for some reason I just got like a Ward vibe. Like not even Ward as in Ward himself. I mean, we call him Ward, but his name is actually Grant Ward, and he's in a family. So I figured, oh, maybe this could be the brother or something. Maybe this is present day Ward going back to visit his brother or something, or I don't know. Maybe something like, I mean, it wouldn't make much sense, but I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with the Ward, and then it's like you know, like a man saying Grant Ward, and I was like, oh crap, this is young Ward. Okay. And then they show a de-aged, not only a Bill Paxton, but a de-aged Bill Paxton. So I mean, you know, with the de-aging software, like the majority of it we see is in the movies, like with Nick Fury, and I think Nick Fury unarguably has had the best de-aging, because I think it's not that it's not as visible, but it's like it's not as obvious that it's CGI, like with scenes like where it's a de-aged Michael Douglas or something. You know, it's like you can tell there, like the skin looks too kind of like soft and tender for it to actually be, you know, like a present day de-aged person. Like so you can tell, like you know, it's been de-aged there. But with like Nick Fury and Captain Marvel, he looked flawless with that de-aging. So with this one, I think this reminded me more of what it would look like for Michael Douglas. Because with this one, I mean, this one was years back, so obviously they probably weren't using the same software, or wasn't as upgraded as it is now. But they did definitely use a de-aged Bill Paxton. He looked great, so that was cool. But I think, yeah, this episode just gave us like a good kind of some good flashback scenes between what Ward and Garrett's relationship was like. What the sugar stuck in my teeth. But yeah, we had like Ward was in juvie. Ward was in a juvenile center, and I guess it makes sense. But I think the way he got this was arson and attempted murder. So I think apparently he stole a car from somewhere and then drove a couple of hours or like a couple of miles or something back to his house, back to presumably his family house, and then tried to burn it down, and he didn't know his brother was inside. So he revealed the truth. I think at first he said that his older brother would abuse him and his younger brother. But then we even had a flashback scene where he was being told to leave his younger brother in the world and all that stuff. We had that. But then in another episode, in the episode where Skye found out that Ward was Hydra, we also had him revealing the truth that, you know, his older brother wouldn't actually abuse his younger brother. He would make Ward abuse his younger brother, and then his parents were worse than that. So he clearly wasn't the favourite child of the family, if there ever was one. So he did that, and then I think this was when he was in juvie. So I think juvie, like, I think he looked about like 16, maybe 15. Yeah, like mid-teens, I'd say. You know, like, I mean, juvie, I think it's pretty much like for teenagers anyway, like young adults and stuff. So, but I mean, I think he was. I mean, Garrett said his older brother was attempting to have Ward tried as an adult. So I think he was close enough to that age range for it to be somewhat of a possibility. But yeah, so he went back to his family house and then tried to burn the house down with his brother and son. I think, I'm assuming that was his older brother, the one who actually abused him by making him abuse, the one who's the main abuser in the sibling line. His younger brother, I don't know if they mentioned what happened to him. I think he just, I mean, Garrett just asked him, oh, did you know your brother was inside when you had to do it? And he was like, no, I didn't. So I think it would make more sense in that case for it to be his older brother that he was trying to get revenge on, he was trying to get payback on. But his family was pressing charges. His family was pressing charges against him for arson and attempted murder, and his brother especially was trying to have him tried as an adult. So that way, you know, he would actually get more and more time, like a more severe sentence, like a good few years in prison. So yeah, so he came from a broken background. He came from a broken home and a broken family, and a family that hated him. And he kind of carried that around with him all those years. And then Garrett came along. And he recruited Garrett. He recruited Ward. I think Ward even mentioned to Raina that that Garrett was the one that rescued him from hell, and that he was the one who taught him how to survive and all that stuff. And I think it's I think one thing that's obvious there is the fact that Ward was very. I think Ward could be seen as the victim in that stance too. He came from a family that abused him for years, and a family that hated him and taught him nothing but pain and hatred, so he carried that around with him. That was his main kind of vibe that he gave off. And him running into Garrett, I think Garrett heard about him, I think, because I think like a story like that would be in the news, like local boy tries to burn house down with family, something like that, like a tortured boy or something. So Gary heard about him, and then Garrett heard about him, and then tried to recruit him. But then with Garrett, from I don't think he was actually with Hydra from the beginning. He was with S.H.I.E.L.D., but then he had that incident where his intestines were blown out by an IED, and then he asked S.H.I.E.L.D. for help or something, and they didn't actually get to him on time, or they didn't give him the adequate help, and then he said that's when he realized that he was more loyal to S.H.I.E.L.D. than S.H.I.E.L.D. ever was to him, and he treated them better than they ever treated him. So then he patched himself back up, and then dug himself out, and said that he'd give S.H.I.E.L.D. the same level of respect as they gave him. So that was that, and then over time, I think the first time he left him in the woods for like 6 months, with a bag of clothes and a woodland area, and Buddy as well, Buddy the dog. Unintentionally, I think he said he was going to be back in a couple of months, but then the assignment took him on 6. So over time, he just kind of taught Ward how to survive and how to handle himself out on his own, and how to actually be like Garrett, and how to actually get under Garrett's wing pretty much. It's just something I noticed. I mean, by the way, I want to point out the casting choice for younger Ward, like the actual the actor that played the younger Ward was great. Like I looked at him, and like he definitely, I mean, even with even combined with the guy's acting ability, even the way he looks and the way the costume department actually fashioned him up and stuff like that, he looks like a genuinely younger Ward. So that's a really good job there. I definitely kind of believed that he was younger Ward. But yeah, with Garrett, I think he just saw a kid that was broken and needed a chance to kind of relinquish his pain, and a chance to get back at the people who gave him that pain, and a chance to a kid who was looking for a chance to get back at the world for making him go through that. And he thought, what, this guy would make a good recruit. He would make a good recruit. So yeah, and I think it's just a sign that abusers they don't always, but they can start off being the victims. They can start off being the victims being either being manipulated by their own abuse or being manipulated by other people. So Ward, he was abused by his own family. He was left with no one and nothing, and then Garrett came along and he saved him. And then he even made a good pitch, you can either get a good few years in prison, with just more and more danger of actually wondering if you'll survive in prison, or you can stick with me. I'll teach you how to survive. And he did. I think he did, and he warned him straight off the bat it wasn't going to be easy. And then he left him alone for 6 months, just to make sure he could handle himself. So he definitely kind of told the truth there. But he also kind of he also further manipulated Ward into thinking that because he was there for him, Garrett made the emphasis of saying, you don't owe me or anyone else anything. You've earned this. You earn all of your own stuff. I think on the one hand, it's learn to fight for yourself, so that you won't have to give anyone else anything. Or on the other hand, it's don't trust anyone, least of all me, because no one's ever going to be there for you. You have to fight for yourself. Trusting others is a weakness, and you have to get rid of weakness as soon as possible. And it's a classic kind of, I think it can be seen as an abuser tactic. No one's ever going to be there for you, so you have to stick up for yourself. So yeah, but But yeah, I think it's just easy. It's just clear. It's clear more than anything to see that, you know, Garrett definitely saw that Ward was in pain and that he was broken and he needed someone. But then Garrett took advantage of that. He was there for him, but not in a way that Garrett saw that, you know, oh, you're his hero, you're his rescuer, you were the one who pulled him out of fire and everything. But in the end, like Garrett was always emphasizing that, you know, don't ever thank me, don't ever feel like you owe me anything, because you are alone in this world and you need to accept that fact and act like it at all times. Even if you have people standing next to you, they're not with you, they're just there to get the job done too. So, you know, just don't be kind, don't be grateful, just do your work, get the job done, look out for yourself more than anyone else. And yeah, so goddamn, but the flashbacks were, I think like starting the episode off with a flashback was a very, very nice choice, and the way it was sprinkled in throughout was also really, really well done. So yeah, that was cool. Interesting fact, Garrett not only started the Deathlock program, but he was also the first Deathlock. I think I remembered that. I mean, when they showed John Garrett's thing in his name on the file, I was like, he's the first. I thought, oh yeah, he does have like we did see a glimpse of his arm, of his like cybernetic plating on his abdomen and stuff, and on the side of his body. So I remembered that. But I didn't know. I was confused as to whether that was just simple armor plating or what it was. But because of the IED blast he suffered, like the damage from that alone would have been kept stable. I think maybe not fully regenerated, but stable. But I think in this one, in present day, he actually was like dying. He was dying. So I think I wonder if that's like leftover damage from the IED to the organs as well. Because I think his intestines were blasted out. They were literally knocked out of place, and he bled out, you know, from that as well. So then he had to shove them back in, probably not in the right places in the right orders, but he had to shove them back in and then duct tape himself back up. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of that to take literally, like if he actually had duct tape on him to actually, you know, tape himself back up, and or even if that's something that would work, like literally taping yourself back up with duct tape, like an open wound into your intestine, into your organs, and then taping that back up. I don't know how well that would work, or if that's even, I mean, it wouldn't work very well. I mean, it's very much like the situation that calls for some improv, and, you know, like, what's the phrase, like, there's a phrase like, desperate times call for desperate measures. So it's very much a case of that. So I doubt he would have lasted long until he found someone capable of giving him medical care. But that alone, and the fact that years have passed since then, so over time he's been aging, his body has been deteriorating, so he can't really handle as much anymore. So yeah, that definitely that definitely would have added to it. So his cybernetics are keeping him going, but not well enough, and his organs themselves are deteriorating, and then he has the centipede serum running in through him. So I think, more than anything, I think it's not really fixing him, it's just keeping him stable, it's keeping the damage stable. It's gradually getting worse, but not so, but it's still, there's enough of a boost for it to be slowed down to some kind of extent, and it's keeping the damages of it. It's like, it's steadily declining, like it's not going down like at a stage like a human's would. It's like kind of like stuttering between the borders, and it's going down and down, and then the centipede stuff is fighting to keep it back up, but it's just not working. So the GH325 was his goal because it's what he needed. He knew it brought Coulson back to life as a whole after he was literally fully dead. So for someone like him suffering from organ failure and all that sort of stuff, then it would definitely work to bring him back. So we saw that Raina did develop an actual cure, and she did give it to him. It was the one vial she had, so she did kind of dig into his organs and take out like a cybernetic liver or a heart or something, it looked like, and then just injected the GH into that. So he's been injected with that now. So and then he said in the end, like he said, you know, I see the universe, or like I see everything, or something like that. Like he you know, started glowing for a bit. I thought like, it reminded me of like Extremis, the Extremis people from Iron Man 3, like when they started glowing up and then they just melted and then blew up. I thought that was going to happen to him, but no, he just glows for a bit, has a bit of a seizure, and then just, you know, suddenly he sees the universe. So now he's the Watcher. But he is rather unfortunately alive. So yeah, but Reyna herself, doesn't really have as much faith in Garrett anymore, because I think she is the one person there who enjoys her assigned role. Perhaps I think, Ward is there because he feels like he owes something to Garrett, and he always will, and he always has. Mike is there because he has an explosive in his head that will kill him if he doesn't. Quinn is just a businessman, so he's doing his own shit. But Reyna, she even said it herself, like, she's not really that trustworthy of Garrett anymore, because all he wanted was the GH325. That's all he wanted, and he needed her to develop it for him. But she takes an interest in special people and what makes them special, studying what makes them that way. So I wonder if, of course, when we meet her, she does help in managing to kill. She does leave one of the scientists to die, and also leads Chan Ho Yin to inject himself with more of the centipede stuff, and actually he ends up blowing up as well. So she has hurt people. She has done stuff that's led to people's deaths, and been someone who's paved that path. But for her, I think she definitely seems like one of those characters who death is necessary if it leads to progression, or she cares more about the special people than those who lose their lives, or something like that. Because I want to say she doesn't seem inherently evil, inherently bad, but it's like she clearly doesn't mind losing people on the way, so long as she gets to live, and also she gets to meet and work with or work on the special people. So I do get more than enough evil vibes from her, but I think she's also the kind of like science is progression kind of person. So yeah, but Reyna didn't really take much of a trustworthy stance towards Garrett after that discovery. So yeah, and she also made another discovery about Skye. So Skye, so it turns out, I think let me go back and listen to that line again in case I misinterpret. I think I got her parents were the monsters line, but I don't know if that was the entire thing. Let me go back and listen. Okay, yeah, so we heard from Agent Lumley, we heard already the story about the people the monsters who tore the village apart trying to find the baby and killed anyone who would try and stand in their way or who would try to protect the baby, so we know about that. But now it seems like so now Rain is saying the monsters that were the baby's parents. So the baby's parents were the ones who fought to get to the baby, but were they trying to kill the baby? Because she said the entire village was destroyed, and every man, woman, and child was taken down along with it. So I would assume that means that means that any man, woman, or child that tried to protect the baby would be killed by the monsters, aka the parents. So what would that mean? Again, Skye was an 084, but again, 084 just means unknown origin. I know, bear with me. But obviously, it's not. Surely there's more to her being an 084 than just her being some kind of unknown object. Maybe obviously for an 084, it would have to have some kind of significance, right? It would have to. Thor's hammer was an 084 that has magical friggin' powers. That thing in Peru, the blasting thingy, that one was I think it was alien tech or some kind of tech. But it had abilities anyway. So 084s, I think, they can come with other significant kind of traits, like abilities and whatnot. So maybe the baby had abilities. Maybe the baby had abilities. Maybe the parents were the only ones who knew, and they tried to, and they fought to keep it a secret. But then someone found out. They took the baby away from them, and then the parents fought as hard as they could to try and get the baby back. Maybe that's something, and they took down the village in the process. So they fought everyone who stood in their way to get the baby back, and then they killed every man, woman, and child who got in their way. So maybe those people weren't protecting the baby, but they were actively keeping the baby away from parents. Maybe they feared the baby. Maybe they were trying to get rid of it in some way, and the parents were trying to get to the baby. Maybe that's the baby. Maybe that's the story behind the baby. But I don't know. But that's all she said. That was all she said. So the Hunan province in China, that's where the village was. And the village itself was destroyed, and every villager was killed as well. So we know from there the shield that there was a welcome wagon sent in to retrieve the baby, and they did, but then I think it was only the senior or only the senior shield agent survived, and they went under a bridge and kept the baby. Then they were bleeding out as well. So then when Agent Lumley and Agent Avery found the senior agent, like the senior agent's blood was covered in the baby was covered in the senior agent's blood. So that's where the story goes from there. But before that, the monsters, aka the baby's parents, were fighting to actually get to the. Well, I mean, if they're calling them monsters, maybe it could be the other way around. Maybe the parents tried to kill the baby, and then the villagers found out, and then they were trying to protect the baby from the parents. I don't know. I mean, well, if you kill that many people, like an entire village, then it's very, very easy to get branded as a monster. Even especially without knowing the full context. So maybe. Maybe the story was switched around, like a game of Chinese whispers or something. Like maybe, like as more and more people told the story, someone twisted it, or someone claimed to know better, and they said, "Oh, actually, no, the baby's monsters, the parents of the baby were the monsters, and they were trying to kill the baby, or the other way around, or something." But I don't know. But apparently, according to Raina said it was a story she herself heard a long time ago. So again, Chinese whispers, maybe stuff can get twisted along the way. But she said, according to her, the baby's parents were the monsters, the ones who actually massacred the village trying to get to that baby. So yeah, but that's all we have now. But I'm willing. I think Skye being an 084, and I think and she said there was something in her DNA as well. I don't know if the DNA was simply the match she made, like if the DNA was what she used to actually match it to the baby she heard about in the story. But then would she have that baby's DNA as well? Like she heard about the baby, but would she have actually been able to retrieve anything from that case, like the baby's DNA, to match it to Skye's, or would it would that kind of, I mean, not the health record, because the baby's original birth details were wiped off the map by Avery and Lumley, so there would be nothing for her to match it back to in that case. So maybe the physical structure of the DNA would have actually matched it, but would she actually have the baby's DNA in that sense? Would that happen? I don't know, but that's about as much as Raina let on. So yeah, that's about that much more we know. Apparently, the baby's parents were the monsters, and they they took down the village in the process of trying to get their baby back, or trying to get to the baby. But I think it never happened. I mean, did Lumley mention the parents dying? Was that something that was mentioned? I don't know. I don't think so. I think he said that everyone in the village had died, but I don't think he specifically mentioned the parents. No, I don't think so. So, for all we know, the parents could still be out there. I just swallowed like half a Skittle. That scared the bejesus out of me. Maybe the parents could still be out there. Maybe they went underground the same way Skye did. Maybe they tried to silently gather as much data as possible to try and track down Skye. But yeah, I guess we'll see. That is all I managed to jot down from that, but it's also all that Raina herself actually mentioned. So yeah, that's that. What else? Yeah, I think I wouldn't say, okay, for this next point, I wouldn't say that Fitz annoyed me, except he kind of annoyed me. He kind of annoyed me. Like with his insistence. I mean, I get it. We had an entire episode dedicated to him and Ward kind of working on a mission together, and him and Ward bonding and stuff. And then even before and after that, him and Ward were still on the same team, seemingly fighting for the same side, and fighting for the same cause. So it's understandably hard for Fitz to let go of that, to let go of those memories, and to let go of that idea that Ward is still his friend. It's hard for him to do that. We saw his pain in the last episode, where he had to actually, struggle to comprehend that, Ward is actually Hydra. So in this episode, he kind of struggles to process that. I get it. It's anyone can get it. It's like, Ward used to be, or at least he used to pretend that he was their friend. So it's hard to let go of that idea. But Fitz's kind of ongoing thing is what got to me. And I think, you know, I thought for a second, you know, oh, like, you know, I mean, Ward coming through the doorway at that shed they were in was what caught me off guard. And that one was definitely kind of jump scare. Like when like Fitz's face, like, oh crap, Ward's here. Like it was like I think it was a mix between shock and you know, it was a mix between shock and just kind of like, you know, just like just him half wanting to talk to talk to Ward like he'd been doing the episodes before that. But yeah, because I genuinely thought, oh, like they're gonna try and find a way to sneak on board the bus, but no, they did opt instead for the drone to be on the bus, but then Ward jumped in and just jump scared them both. So, and then he took them on board the bus. So, but even after attacking Garrett with the EMP, which was a smart idea, I thought if they were gonna do that, I thought that they would just, you know, just strike with the EMP, maybe hit the guards in the faces, and then just jump off the bus or something, just run, use the opportunity to run off the bus. I mean, sure, they might get caught eventually, but at least it's worth a try than just pressing the EMP and sticking around and trying to, you know, just making a show of it. But no, after that, even after that, he keeps taunting Garrett. Fitz keeps taunting Garrett, saying, you know, oh, I very much enjoyed that, and you're going to lose and we're going to win, and and then even after that, he just keeps on clinging to Ward, like, you know, oh, Ward, we're still friends, you know, we can still get out of it, you don't have to do this, you're a good guy, we know you are, you can still do this. And it's like, Ward is way too far gone. We saw, like, you know, 15 years ago was when he first came out of the juvie system, and then ever since those 15 years, for 15 years, he has been with Garrett, he's been under Garrett's wing, he's been with Garrett that entire time, and despite Garrett's objections, he has been despite Garrett's objections, Ward has been clinging to Garrett like, you know, like a puppy to a grown dog and stuff, like, you know, like just been under his wing, like as his kind of protege, as his apprentice and stuff. Kind of feeling like he owes Garrett, feeling like he owes him, and feeling like it's too late. And, you know, like Garrett taught him to trust himself and to let go of any weaknesses and stuff like that. So, you know, Fitz just clinging to that hope that is what I think, you know, it just got them into that situation in the first place. But I don't know. I think in the end it just made stuff worse for them, because he kept on taunting Garrett, he kept on taunting him, and I think in the end it's just like, you know, it's what made Garrett realize. It's what made Garrett go from, we could use a guy like you on our team, on our side, and then going all the way down to just kill him, just kill them both off them. They can pay for what they've done, because their EMP took out his Deathlock stuff too, his cybertech armor. So just went and just kept on like it's like Fitz kept on digging a hole for himself and then just asking Simmons to jump in, like, yeah, you're gonna pay for this. Ward, you can still be a good guy. Gemma, come on, help me show him that he can be a good guy again. That's what it felt like he was digging a hole for himself and then asking Simmons to jump in after him. But yeah, no, it's just, I don't know, it's what led them down that direction. But then at the end, it's like, you know, like Ward asking them to come out so that he could off them, you know, like normally, like through a gun or something. But then in the end, he just opts for unleashing the cargo pod. Like I didn't even think that that's what that was. Like, I mean, they were on the run, and then Ward was coming down a ladder, so they jumped into the nearest available kind of hatch without realizing what it was, and then Ward moved to the nearest control panel, and then that's when I saw it blinking on the screen, like cargo pod activation and stuff like that. So I was like, wait, cargo pod? Oh crap, that can be detached. Holy crap, he's gonna drop them out of the bus. And like, I mean, I figured at that point that they would be in the air too, but not only were they in the air, they were overseas. They were literally over the ocean, so he dropped them out of... He dropped their cargo pod out of the bus, and they fell into the sea. So I'm pretty sure that thing is not airtight. Either way, even if it was airtight, that would not be any better for them, because it would mean that they could either drown or they could just, suffocate in a good couple of hours, so, or even a good hour, because there's both of them, and it's a fairly smallish kind of cargo pod. But I figure with that one, I feel like they're just going to drown. The water's going to start seeping through. They're probably going to drown. But I don't know how that's going to go. Because I think it shocks me, but it's like, I know there's a season 2. That's the worst thing about this thing. If I had actually, I don't know. I mean, yeah, no, knowing this, it takes away some of that kind of, it takes away some of the gravity in the situation, because I know there's going to be a season 2, but I still don't know how that's going to go. Like, what if only one of them comes back? What if only Fitz, or what if only Simmons comes back? What if one of them actually manages to drown and the other one is just, is on like a borderline of life and death and is managed to be brought back, but the other one is too far gone? Like, I know there are future seasons ahead of the show, but I don't know what the fuck goes down in those seasons. Like, like, not only did I actually just, like, get to this party late, I just haven't paid any attention to this party because it wasn't a show that I was watching all these years. So it's like, like, that's like my one advantage. I know there are future seasons ahead of the show, but what happens in those seasons, I have no idea, and that's a good thing. No spoilers for me. Thank you. But yeah, I think it's just the one question. Like, okay, so like, maybe only one of them comes back alive. Maybe this is how we lose either one of them, and only like Fitz or only Simmons actually comes back alive. And season 2 is about actually carrying on in their stead, in their death. That's not something I can handle. That is not something I can handle. I do not want to lose either Fitz or Simmons. There's a reason they work so well together, and it's because they're together. They are Fitz Simmons, not just Simmons, and that's it. Not just Fitz. That's it. Fitz Simmons. It's catchy, it works, and they're the dream team of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, yeah. So I'm hoping we can actually see how they're. I think the team are in the barbershop. The team are under the barbershop, ready to face off against a Hydra dude with a berserker staff, and also a group of cybertech super soldiers. So they've already got a fight on their hands. But then in that time, they're also going to need to discover that Fitz Simmons are underwater in a cargo pod, and then take the time to actually locate them and actually, fish them out of the water, quite literally. So, yeah, things are just going great. Things are going great in this kind of penultimate episode of the season. But did young Ward shoot Buddy? Did young Ward actually shoot Buddy? Because we saw Buddy, and then we saw young Ward, and then he was holding the gun, and then we heard the gunshot. And then, as the camera zoomed out, there was nothing there. Like, it looked pretty much as if the dog had collapsed. But then there was a scene after that. Let me go back and look at that. I don't know. It was when Ward was actually getting ready to drop. When he was getting ready to drop thingy, Fitz and Simmons. Yeah, so he shot them. Oh no, he didn't. Oh, he didn't. He shot the gun into the air. Oh, he shot the gun to the air, and then because he knew that's what would happen. He knew because he said even when he was shooting with the sniper rifle at the day, he's like, that damn dog always runs off every time I shoot. So he knew that even if he didn't even have to shoot the dog, he just had to shoot the gun into the air, and the dog would still run because it was still a gunshot. Huh. Okay, but then there was another scene. I did not miss this. I blinked at the other scene, but I did not blink at this. There was another scene where he was having another flashback. Yeah, there was that line from Fitz, like, I know that you care about us. Yeah. Yeah, and then that's when Ward declares his caring about them a weakness. Oh, so did Garrett kill Buddy? Because then that scene shows that, there's someone's looking through a sniper rifle and tracking Buddy's movements. I think, that could have been a trial then. Oh, that could have been a test for Ward. Because I think that the first one with Buddy, that could have been a test. Like, Garrett seeing if Ward actually had the guts to do it, and if he actually had the guts to get rid of the weakness. So then, and even Garrett knew, because Ward told him, that damn dog just runs up, he runs along every time he takes a shot. He knew that that's what would happen. Like, if Ward, so, two things could happen if Ward actually shoots him. Either Buddy dies, or Buddy starts running along. So I think maybe in the back, I think maybe in the distance, or, like a few feet from him, Garrett could have been looking along with a sniper rifle to making sure that Buddy wasn't running along, and if he was, then Garrett would take care of it himself. So then he knew that and then Ward obviously told Garrett that he took care of Buddy, but then he didn't. I think he didn't. I think it showed that Garrett probably took care of. So then so then Ward knew that if he didn't kill Fitz and Simmons, then Garrett would have, and Garrett would have probably done it much worse. Or then or he would have made Ward watch as he did it, and he does. I think he said, "You're right. I do care about you, and it's a weakness." So I think he doesn't want to see. He doesn't want to be made to watch as Garrett kills Fitzsimmons. He doesn't want to be made to watch it happen just because he failed to do so and be taught that lesson. So he did it himself. He did it himself. So, oh god. Okay. So then he just opens up. He opens up that cargo pod and he drops them out. Ugh. Yeah. He drops them out. He knows he has to kill them, otherwise Garrett would do the job for him, and he just drops them into the ocean. That's great. That's great. That's great. This is exactly what I signed up for when I started watching the show. Just hours and hours of emotion. Just hours of emotional turmoil. That's exactly what I signed up for. So thank you, writers. It's really a fucking emotional Christmas. But yeah, so he did not shoot Buddy. I think I blinked at that point, right? And the first time I actually missed Buddy running along, and then when I opened my eyes again, it showed a zoomed out shot with no dog in the frame. So I thought, oh, maybe Buddy just collapsed onto the ground with a headshot to the face. But then I couldn't tell if I was actually seeing things or not, because then I did see that shot of the sniper rifle zoom tracking Buddy as he was running through the forest, and then another gunshot was heard. So yeah, so that was the kill shot that he never took. The first time he never took the kill shot, but the second time, when I think it's a really kind of effective and smart kind of editing technique. But then the second time, the actual kill shot that happens, they sync it up with the time that Ward actually takes the kill shot. He knows what happened last time. He pretended to kill Buddy, and then Garrett knew that he didn't because he saw Buddy running along the forest, and then he took the kill shot. So this time he knows that if he doesn't do it, Garrett will. And this time Garrett might learn from the first time as well, and actually might force Ward to actually watch him do it. So yeah, just manipulation all around, just emotional turmoil. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. But yeah, what else was there? I think the cybertech stuff was pretty funny. Like seeing Coulson and May actually dressed up. I think I didn't even clock that until they pointed out. May actually pointed out to Coulson, did your sweater itch? Did you do any of your clothes itch? And he was like, yeah, it kind of does. And I was like, why would your clothes itch? You're wearing a sweater and a pantsuit. Oh crap! You're actually wearing Fitzsimmons' clothes. You're actually wearing their clothes. Like going for the spectacled look, and actually going for the scientist look as well, and just struggling to get any kind of word out whilst Fitz and Simmons are arguing over their own specs on the walkie-talkie. But then the cybertech dude said that I don't even know if it was cybertech, but the other scientist reviewer dude said that Hydra's already I think. What did they say? Let me go back and actually see it. Okay, yeah, so it was cybertech scientists they were seeing. They did actually go to the company. So they've seen they had actually met with other S.H.I.E.L.D. scientists, but they were unimpressed by them, underwhelmed. But the Hydra scientists they saw were a lot less constrained in their thinking. And I think, they were definitely thinking more in the sense of actually creating things for people to use in applicable kind of situations. And again, that end credit scene with Ward, he was actually trying to sell thousands of centipede soldiers to the armies of the world, or at least the US military, at least. It's fair to say that maybe Quinn was the Hydra one that they talked to. He gave an excellent pitch about how this could actually help in the field of battle and in war and stuff, and how that could actually promote their funding for this kind of stuff. So in that sense, Hydra's less constrained. They're thinking about everything they could possibly do, including what they could do to actually make their country more powerful and make their organization more powerful and stuff like that too. But That one, and again, I think the cool thing was when they got to their main offices, like where their mainframe was supposed to be, but there was like, there is no mainframe because their mainframe isn't technological. They have literally filing cabinets of paper. Like, that stuff is practically impossible to hack. You can't hack pen and paper. So, and it's why the woman was there actually typing up on the typewriter instead of typing into a laptop and sending it off to like a database or something. Like, it's just smart. And I think it reminds me of for any of you who have seen Kingsman of the Secret Service, like Samuel L. Jackson's like line in that one, like, oh, you know why I love pen and paper so much? You can't hack this stuff. It's great. That's literally what it reminded me of. But yeah, that was cool. We had seeing Coulson and Trip just geeking out over that old school spy equipment from the Howling Commander thing. So he went back to his mother's house and actually retrieved the briefcase full of the suitcase even full of his granddad's old Howling Commander stuff, like all sorts of old school spy equipment. So they had like some kind of like mind reader thing, like a gun, and they had like a coin designed as a walkie-talkie or something, and like they even had that kind of cigarette that was actually a laser, and not even a laser pointer, just an literal laser, like set the curtains on fire. So all sorts of cool stuff there, and just seeing Coulson and Trip just geeking out over that stuff was really, really cool. And again, it shows, Coulson's been a fanboy since day one. I think his father was presumably in the force, like in the military in some way, and I think he was also like, I think Coulson was a soldier. I think, was he? I don't know. I can't. I think he saw his father die. I don't know if that was actually in battle or not. But I think he's been a fan of Cap though. He's been a fan of Captain America since day one. He has always been a fan of him. He had his trading cards and all that he never got Steve to fucking sign. So he's always been a fan of that old kind of SSR stuff, and he's always been following those adventures. And then he became an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. that was founded by the people of the SSR. So it makes absolute sense that he would be totally, just fanboy mode about all of this stuff. But seeing that actually happen was really, really cool. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this. So next episode we'll presumably see the team taking on the Cybertech, the Cybertech soldiers and the dude with the Berserker staff, and then needing to get around to discovering and rescuing Fitz Simmons from the ocean and taking down Ward and Garrett to once and for all. Taking them down once and for all. I think that one final thing, like him saying, like, you're right, I do care about you, and that's a weakness. I think more than anything, it's a sign that he still feels loyal to Garrett, and that's like, he's giving in to that. Like, that is his weakness. Like, him caring about the good people, the people willing to be there for him. He's been shown and taught not to trust anyone and not to believe that anyone will be there for him, because, and as a result, not to owe anyone anything, because if anyone helps you, they are likely doing it with an ulterior motive in mind. So with Garrett, he taught him, you don't owe this world a damn thing, and no one owes you anything. If you want something, you have to earn it and fight for it. So with him, it's like, Garrett is the one person he can stick by, where he remembers that. But if he actually helps out the good guys, then he's gonna end up he's gonna end up kind of falling back into that kind of thing, that kind of falling into the pattern of thinking that oh, the good guys help me, so they'll be there for me. Like, no, Garrett always told me that no one will ever be there for me, and I have to fight for myself. So that's what I have to stick by. So Garrett is that one weakness that he would allow, simply because Garrett doesn't even present himself as a weakness. He will drop Ward if the opportunity presents itself. And yeah, he even said it in the beginning, like, you're still just that crybaby I found in juvie, like, just always playing the victim card, always feeling like he was betrayed. Like, you can't be betrayed if you don't trust anyone, and that's what I taught you all those years ago. Don't trust anyone, don't believe in anyone, don't let anyone into your side. Or into your head, don't form any attachments, all that sort of stuff. Like, Garrett himself, he saw himself as a completely non-personal kind of teacher to Ward, like teaching him all the right lessons in life and teaching him not to trust anyone, and not even Garrett himself. So yeah, but hopefully by the next episode we'll see Garrett and potentially Ward as well being taken out for the count, and hopefully by May. May said she's keeping all of that anger in. May said she's keeping all of that anger inside her to saving it up for Ward, right? Saving it up for Ward so she can go full on, mentally kind of, just angry kung fu on him for like a solid 10 minutes or more. So I'm looking forward to that scene. So yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this one. So again, anything I missed out on, anything I misinterpreted or missed out on, leave it in the comments below, and I will, just remember it or go back and watch the episode through again. But yeah, that was Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1, Episode 21, titled Ragtag. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next in the season, and what you think the season finale is gonna be like. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys next time.